Mga kasangkayan, fellow plant lovers and gardeners, maupay nga gabi hayo nga tanan or good evening to all of you. As usual, it's already Saturday night and I'm back home kasi ito na yung nakasanayan ko when I started my field work for the past 3 or baka 1 month na nga siguro. So, I only stay at home for one night and then I go back to my field work. So, this is the reason why I don't have the opportunity to witness some of my plants in full bloom, just like this Dendrobium bursigerum or the baby battle brush orchid. So, this is the only new bloom of a Dendrobium bursigerum, but it hasn't opened yet. But most of the flowers are already about to fall down kasi I think they have already opened the blooms 2 or 3 weeks ago. So this is the new cane of Dendrobium bursigerum. Itong may mga leaves pa, but the canes or the stems with no leaves, these are the ones that can produce blooms like this. But actually, the actual blooms of Dendrobium bursigerum or baby battle brush orchids looks like this. So when they are still in full bloom, ganito yung itsura nila. Not like this one, these blooms already look smaller and shorter because they are already shrinking, and as I have said, they are about to fall down kasi nga medyo matagal na siya na nag-open. So you might be curious why this is called a baby battle brush orchid, but if you try to look closely these pictures, you will see or you will realize that the blooms actually looks like baby battle brush orchids, the brush which is used to clean the baby feeding bottle. So this is stem with the leaves. These are the stems that are not yet ready for blooming, but the ones without leaves, they are the one that can produce bloom. So meron pa akong isa dito. Actually, this is still very young, this one, because the leaves are still complete. So as you can see, the leaves are so glossy, but the canes at the back has already produced some blooms last year. So Dendrobium bursigerum or the baby battle brush orchid is a Philippine native orchid species na dito sa Eastern Samar. I only found this kind of orchids in Suluan Island in Giwan, Eastern Samar. So the next one you can see, this is a Dendrobium dearei or there's Dendrobium. This is also a Philippine native orchid species. Very this is a very good orchid to grow in lowlands because they can bloom all year round based on my experience. So as you can see, meron na naman siyang bagong bulb or bagong cane na nag-grow. So this Dendrobium there is actually a very generous bloomer. So I just want to show you some pictures of a Dendrobium there in full bloom. So look at this. Napaka generous bloomer, and this Dendrobium there can bloom all year round as I have said earlier. So look at the blooms. Pero ano lang ngayon, medyo kukonti lang ngayon yung kanyang mga bulaklak kasi nga hindi ko siya naaalagaan. So these are more of the pictures of a Dendrobium dearei in full bloom. So as you can see, napakadami talaga niyang mag-produce ng mga bulaklak. These are my plants when it produced flowers last year. So napakadami ng kanyang mga bulaklak. So this one you can see now, these are hybrid Dendrobiums I bought from San Rafael, Bulacan, pero natatanggal na rin to. As you can see, it's already upside down kasi natatanggal na siya sa kanyang pinagkakapitan. But next week, I am going to try to find time para maripat siya or ma-remount para naman ay tumubo mo siya ng maigi. So, look at this. Ito yung Dendrobium dearei or Dear's Dendrobium, also a Philippine native orchid species. So, meron na rin siyang mga new canes or new bulbs na tumutubo. Ulit, ito yung mga picture when the orchid bloom last year. So, napakadami talaga niyang magbulaklak. So, the next plant you can see here is not a Philippine native orchid species, but this one is an Oncidium orchid. This is already a hybrid orchid. Ito yung tinatawag nila na dancing lady na kulay dilaw yung kanyang mga bulaklak. So, this is an old hybrid of an Oncidium orchid which is called the dancing lady. So the next one we have here is also a Philippine native orchid species which is called the Phalaenopsis equestris. So I didn't notice that this is already blooming kasi nandito lang siya sa ilalim, and the aglaonema plants are covering the blooms of this very cute but gorgeous Philippine native orchid species called Phalaenopsis equestris. So this one is mounted on a clay pot, and it looks like nag-ano siya, nagtatribe lang siya kahit walang, anong tawag dito, walang potting mix, but only the clay pot. So this is how lovely and cute the blooms of a Phalaenopsis equestris. At dito naman sa ilalim, this one is an aglaonema rotundum na talagang very bushy na siya, at natatakpan niya nga yung ating Phalaenopsis equestris. Also, this orchids, I found this in a barangay in Giwan, Eastern Samar.